Hey guys, hope you hear me well. Hello everyone. I guess we'll take a minute before you will see what I'm saying. Anyway, good evening everyone, and I'll take questions about Acki Nacki MainNet launch today. Let's see how it's going. I know that we have a lot of questions, so I'll try to answer them all. I don't know how long it will take, but you know, let's apply common sense to this and try not to make it many hours. So yeah, I'm trying to make sound, because they say that it's not loud enough. I guess right now it's better, I hope. If not, I have no idea what to do. What else to do, I mean, because I changed the sound system. So there is a limit to what I can do with that system yet. But I hope it's for good. All right, let's go then, and let's start the first question. Okay, at what date and at what percentage of active block keepers licenses do you realistically plan to launch MainNet? It's I guess at this stage it's no more about licenses. It's more, I would say, about final preps. Basically, we are all ready. On the right hand of my screen, you see the blocks explorer for the prenet, which we just crossed 3 million blocks, right? Few kind of minutes ago. So in that you need to take into account that we stopped the prenet for good hours, I think 3 days ago on Sunday, and what it was 2 days ago, I think. So that was some technical work that we wanted to do on the prenet, some exercises that we wanted to do. These exercises were some things broke and we wanted to fix them without relaunching the network, because that's the purpose, that we know how to do that on the mainnet as well. So in the kind of live settings, more or less. So we have patched the nodes, we restarted the nodes, we made also the network available for external block keepers from around the world. And we, of course, they encountered several technical issues with managing the nodes and things like that, but it's mostly on the DevOps side of things. There are a few things that we still wanted to add technically, things for better, I would say, protection or upgradability of the network, following these kind of things that we did on the prenet. So, but in terms of when it's not down to percentage of the block keepers. Basically, all the block keepers that are needed for the network start are there. So we're not waiting for anyone. There is one, the 4hash was starting to, there was an issue with internet connection in his US data center, but it's all fixed now. And he's still in the installation phase on some of his servers, but that's not holding us up. But these small things, I think we are very close. Basically, we're days. Realistically, I think something like mid next week we're going to launch. That's kind of my best prediction. Again, don't hold me accountable for that, but things are looking like that. We thought maybe Friday, as usual, but Fridays after tomorrow, I don't think we will be able to test all the things that we changed. So Sorry, my phone is buzzing. So I think realistically, like mid next week, that's the target date at the moment. But there is no major issues or anything like that holds us up at this moment. Like everything is finally coming together. Yeah. So let's see. Yeah, guys are asking like about subtitles and the different languages. Like, listen, I could try to like take questions in all the languages I speak, but that will be unfair for everyone else, I guess. So let's just stick to the English one, and we will add subtitles later on. Okay, so we have second question: how will blockkeepers' rewards will be calculated after mainnet launch? Exact formula. Well, you don't expect me to exact formula you right now. Like, there is a tokenomics. This is exact formula in there. Nothing changed from the tokenomics paper. This is exact formula. It actually, like probabilistic formula, it takes a lot into account when it takes the total stake, it takes what the total number of tokens minted, what the total number of tokens in the stake, what the because the tokenomics formula is managing the token flow, like the cash, basically the free float of the tokens which are not locked in validation and stuff like that. I wouldn't be able to just explain you everything, all the aspects of this formula. Just go see it, and you can use ChatGPT to, if you like not math guy or gal, okay, you can take this to ChatGPT, and the ChatGPT will explain you the formula pretty well. I think they're ChatGPT or whatever AI you're using right now, like in some advanced mode. Of course, you won't be able to use in a normal kind of conversational mode, because that's not the math is not, the math capabilities there is like lacking. But if you go like to higher mode in any kind of leading LLM, it will be able to explain you the formula. Okay, are there any planned changes to the binary system? NACKL shall be nope. There is no planned changes to anything at this stage. The only thing that we're changing is some things related to implementation of the different block keepers or verifiers, mobile verifiers, reward calculations. But the formula stays the same. It's just the calculations themselves. It's tricky because it's done in the smart contracts, and smart contracts are not they don't support floating point calculations. And so we cannot use the formula as they are written in the tokenomics. We need to adapt that for the fixed point processor, like kind of virtual machine calculation. And that's not easy sometimes, right? So this is this is basically the challenging thing. That's why when we changed to license counts you remember in June, we started to change because of the validators demanded us. That took that long to actually do and verify everything. Okay. Are there any plans? Okay, so will the current distribution of rewards between different types of network participants be maintained for the entire duration of the blockchain, or do you not exclude possibility of future changes, I guess? This is it's not question, this question doesn't have answer because it won't be up to me. If all the validators, all the block keepers will decide to change the software that they're running, nobody can prevent them doing so. Like in Bitcoin, if all the miners will change their software, then the Bitcoin will run differently. And if after the 2 million whatever Bitcoins mined, the Bitcoin community will decide to mine more, they will just patch the software of their miners and they will mine more. Just make no mistake about that. It's a philosophically great question. Like, not if is it possible or not, that's clearly possible. Can we make some formula which we can harden in a way that it will be impossible to change later on? That's a kind of good question. I guess mathematically it's like not very possible, but it's a deep question. Like, we can think about that. Nobody did that before, because anyway, like you can run any software. You can suddenly run, like, would it be the same network? That's I guess the good question to ask. Like, if you have because it will have to hard fork, right? So if you hard forking, like, is it the same network? It's a good question. Is the Ethereum the same network? That is really Ethereum right now, because there are two, right? Ethereum Classic and Ethereum. Which one is them? Is the real Ethereum? No idea. Okay, redistribution of rewards, or even the exclusion of certain types of participants from receiving rewards. Oh, that's a so that's the second part of the question. So the question was, or do you not exclude the possibility of future distribution of reward, or even the exclusion of certain types of participants from receiving rewards? For example, the consensus protocol will at some point receive an update after which mobile verifiers will no longer be needed. It's the same. It's the same question. It's a little bit more. It's a little bit different, but it's literally the same. Like, they will need to hard fork to do this. Like, so no, I don't expect that to happen. Like, no. Okay, there is some community question going on. So, tell us what your attitude is towards open source. What do you think if you do a project through open source? Is it possible to build a working business, or does open source hinder that? Yeah, I answered that like many times, and even Twitter, I had a tweet about that. I think open source is broken completely, because people who contribute to open source, they don't expect to make money. They don't make money, and that's okay. Like, you can make money, but you don't expect to make money. So kind of okay. If that would be stopping here, like it was in a free software, like Stallman thought about that would be fine. But unfortunately, it didn't stop here, because the open source movement was created on top of free software movement. An open source movement was created by corporations, by big corporations. And these corporations, basically, what they did is, like, they made their engineers contribute to open source, so they can exchange the free software between themselves and the other users, of course. But what is unfair about that is that these people who contributed to open source from these big corporations were paid salaries by these big corporations. And so when the people who were just independent developers developing for open source, it just completely killed the business, their business. And remember, the free software and open source and the free software is not free as in free beer, it's free as in freedom. The freedom to use and modify the software. That's not the same thing as free to use the software for free forever or things like that. Right? It implies that in a way, but it doesn't imply that you cannot make money from your software. When these corporations basically hijacked the open source, they made it impossible for you to make money out of that. And I think we want to change that. Actually, one of the things that there are things that I wanted to say today, which are which kind of what I think will happen, like in the future after Acki Nacki launch. And one of the things that actually relates to this, and I'll tell you what. Like, I believe in 5 years, most like server containers will be orchestrated on Acki Nacki chain via Ghosh. So any user, any developer will be able to like deploy their containers directly from on-chain registry to kind of on-chain compute resources without thinking what kind of server or cloud provider they are using. So completely abstracting all the infrastructure complexity. So to put it simply, like, cloud providers just won't matter anymore. They become dumb metal I took dump metal because it was old way to saying about ISPs. Remember? Oh, maybe you don't remember, but the ISPs, the internet service providers, they thought they will do some services except for like providing internet. They thought they will do like you will buy applications from them and whatnot, access applications, stuff like that. And it took like few years, actually, like I think about 10 years, for the whole business model to change, and people realizing we don't need ISPs selling us anything except for internet. So they become what is called dump channel. They just provided you the internet, you paid for them for the internet, unlimited, that's it. So I think the same thing is going to happen, or well, I would say Acki Nacki will enable it to happen after we launch over some time. We just take all these service providers will become just dump metal servers boxes, and you will be able to run like everything on top of them. And why it's related to open source? Because all of these service providers like Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Oracle, all of them just taking open source code and putting that on top of their client of their like cloud metal boxes, and selling developers this for immense amount of money, completely not just, like, I don't know, 30 times more it's really cost to run all of these things. And they didn't develop it. Like open source community developed it. So I think if you create this layer, like what I think Acki Nacki will do, it's like creating this layer of infrastructure layer, abstraction infrastructure layer, where every open source developer can just patch it to any kind of metal box that run there, and everyone else will be able to kind of run it and pay the real creator. So yeah, that's a deep question again, but I just wanted to say that. Okay, we need to rewind back some of that. Let's see what else do we have here. Mobile verifiers for receiving tokens are divided into 3 categories. The first gets like 69.8, the second 30, and the third gets 0.2. If I'm not mistaken. Why such a huge difference? Because the project needs so many verifiers possible, and do you think people in the third category will play? Okay. How do you want to go about that? Like, do I need to talk about socialism, capitalism, and how the world runs, and why? You cannot do otherwise. Like, you can, like, we created boost systems, and boosts, everyone can have the boosts. Like, the only thing differentiate between these 3 groups are boosts, and you're not buying boosts. Like, you can, technically before the network launch, like, you can buy cores and it will give you some boosts. That ends on Friday, by the way. But other than that, like, boosts are earned. So you can go and earn boosts, and having more boosts will put you in the higher category. It's up to you. Like, but when you say, oh, because we need boosts, we will not be able to kind of mine in the first or second category because we don't want to do anything and to earn boosts, then kind of, do we really need these people to play if they don't want to do anything? Like, it's a self-defeating kind of argument. If you are doing something, then you will get boosts, and then you will get into higher category. But if you are not doing anything, right, how do you still, like, want to mine a lot? Like, why? Like, is it just? Really? Like, we know what these kind of systems create. Nothing. Like, this kind of system creates 0. Because you need to create value. Like, you cannot demand 2 things at the same time. 1, that everyone will get, like, a lot, and 2, that whatever they get will be, will have value. That's why socialism destroys every economy it touches. Sooner or later, you will see what will going to happen to Spain. Okay, that's a rule. Why? Because you cannot do this. Like, it's plus and minus. It just doesn't work together. You know, something will have to give. Okay. Let's see. when will people who played the NACKL game will, with email, receive their rewards? It's not a question to me, but there are people who work like literally all the time. Like there is a special person, okay? His name is Anton, who is every day basically doing that and trying to solve these things on so everyone will get their rewards. And there is some tiny amount of people who didn't, I guess, I think. I'm not sure, like it's not a question to me, but they will. Like no one is going to walk away without rewards that were promised or that, not happening. That's my promise. Like that's a promise. Will MainNet have native bridge support on day one? No, not on day one. Like not on day one. A little later. Everything is like like the worst possible thing is everything breaks at the same time. Let everything break its own like step. So step one, MainNet. Let it break, and then we will we will get to the second stage. Bridge is ready, like it's ready. It just won't be deployed on the first day, but yeah, quite soon after that. What? You will be divorced? Really? Like you will be divorced in your project of artificial intelligence? Maybe it already exists. Ilyar, I need this question rephrased because I'm not married to any artificial intelligence, and so I'm not planning to be divorced. Okay, from her. We're currently experiencing some technical issues when sending rewards to users who registered with email. Okay, so that's Anna is answering your question about the rewards. Few questions. After mainnet start, what are further plans for development on Acki Nacki? How long until internal DEX? When we can expect start of DAOs game and so on? Yeah, okay. So despite the fact that we're not really like talking about roadmaps, we're not doing roadmaps, but yeah, I will do some like kind of projections during this stream that we're going to collect afterwards and post separately. But I think this projection's kind of answering your question in a way. And one of these projections are about DEX. So the DEX isn't work, right? So it will be launched I hopefully soon after the network launches. The DEX is on Acki Nacki is a completely different animal. Like think of Hyperliquid, but on a truly decentralized network, plus completely censorship resistant, which Hyperliquid is currently not, at least from what I know. But Hyperliquid showed that there is a demand for really fast, scalable DEX, right? And obviously, Acki Nacki is going to launch one because this is kind of, obvious, because like we have this extremely fast network with average finality on prenet is 700 millisecond. Right, this is by far faster than anything you have and or will have. So it would be our last test shows like 62,000 transactions on like 20 nodes, that's what we're testing like every day. When we releasing a patch to the software, like it goes through the CI, continuous integration cycle of tests, and one of the tests is actually launch a network with a high load, and this load is like if you're not hitting 62,000 currently, then we know something wrong with your patch. Right? So that's how we test. So when we talk about like 200 and more, you know that Acki Nacki scales kind of with a number of so with that capacity and finality times, not to do the DEX is like it would be It will be insane. Apparently we need to buy components on the Mamaboard. Good morning. When will the process begin? It began about 10 months ago. You can buy. Oh, you mean the new ones that you need to re-buy again? Okay. On the mainnet. And but again, all the boosts will be just available for you. So you just tap. Easy. Rebuy. Sorry about that. Rebuy. Okay. How is Acki Nacki prepared for the quantum computers that might create a threat to encryption algorithms? Okay. Like quantum computers. At the moment, quantum computers is a vaporware. Like it doesn't exist. At the moment, currently, what we have with all the advances of the Google, Microsoft, whatever, IBM announcements, like it's to break like the IES or whatnot of the kind of hardness that we have right now at this moment. You need like orders of magnitude more to do this, and also like anyway, I don't want to go deeper into that, but we have time. Do I think about that? Yeah, we think about that, and we have a cryptography like group inside Gosh. We have like cryptographers, and our cryptographers are specialists in homomorphic encryption. By the way, and the homomorphic encryption is lattice based, and it's quantum resistant. It's just too slow at the moment, but yeah, we are thinking about that, and we're actually doing something in that respect, but it's not for quantum computers at the moment. It's just that there are other applications for homomorphic encryption and other such like encryption schemes and cryptographic schemes basically that we can use in different applications, but by the way, they are also quantum resistant. When will the Explorer work? I can't wallet unders on the Explorer. Yeah, you cannot, like the Explorer. Yeah, people asking a lot about Explorer. I explained that, I think, and I can repeat. Like the Explorer that we have right now is just the developer kind of version. It's not really this one, and then this one, the one that we have here. Let me refresh, by the way. So this Explorer is like developer, what we're using for development. Now, it doesn't support currently accounts. That's why you cannot go and look for your like whatever address. But also, like address itself in Acki Nacki is a problematic statement, because when you do, like for example, when you mine NACKLs, you have a wallet for mining. It's a separate wallet where the mining rewards are coming. But even that, like, it's not one smart contract. It's like a system of many smart contracts. So in a way, like, you may not even know your address, or such a thing as one address may not exist. Like you may need to know many addresses, or you will have many wallets that will just be showing your balances in the wallet, because wallet knows where to look. But when wallet goes and looks, it calculates a lot, like to determine which address to go. You won't just you unless you do these calculations yourself, like you may not even know your address. So it's a little bit or completely different from like other blockchains. And in order for the like Explorer to support all these groups of addresses, like, okay, maybe we will be able to kind of show you like whatever we wrote. But if some developer will write a DApp, then this Explorer need to go in to kind of support each DApp, and that's just not feasible. So I think the notion of Explorer, yeah, we have it. Yeah, it will show addresses. We will fix this, but you know, I don't think really like average user would need this Explorer. And inside the application, you will have like kind of Explorer, so your transfers will show in the wallet, and you know you'll be able to kind of see this or use it. Are you afraid of the growing capabilities of artificial intelligence? Do you consider yourself a friend or enemy or a creator of strong artificial intelligence? There is not strong. What is strong artificial intelligence? What you mean by AGI? AGI is not coming. There's not going to be an AGI. Like, this is my statement. Not on the current technology we're using. Like, if we just prolong the technology we're using, extend the capabilities of the technology we're using, there won't be any AGI. It's just not going to happen. So the LLMs and the artificial intelligence that we're using right now, and whatever will happen next, like 1, 2, 3, unless we kind of go to a completely different model, like with the current transformer model and the LLMs that we're doing today, at least that what you mean, I guess, not going the direction of AGI. What is more interesting is the specialized kind of artificial intelligence that, for example, like DeepMind using for like or like for medical research, the cell research, and all of these things. That I believe in very much in that, and I hope like they will progress soon and do as much as possible. LLMs, I'm using them. They're great. They're perfect. I support them. Let them flourish. AGI, not happening. How long will the mining last, and how many NACKL do you keep for mining? It doesn't work like that exactly. Like, you don't need to keep NACKLs for mining. You need to keep boosts locked in the motherboard for mining. In the mining, 60 years. Where will NACKL be sent to users who own cores? Yep, by the end of the year, because what you do with the cores, basically core is a fractional ownership of the node which Ghosh runs. And kind of Ghosh basically rent you the node capability, and at the end of the year, for the year, and at the end of the year, you'll get your NACKLs, of course. Unless you would want to continue. When will assemble Mamaboard wallet setup open? And when will the on bottom work? Assemble Mamaboard will happening when the MainNet starts. The second question I didn't get. Okay. It's jumping. The chat is jumping, so it's hard to get. Yeah. I have a block keeper license delegated, but it's not assigned now with the node. The assignment to node start only when the mainnet starts. Is that right? When they start the node, and when I don't know who you delegate it to, but basically when this node is starting, then you kind of see there's no assignment. Like when you delegate it, it's delegated. Now, like when the mainnet starts, you should start seeing your licensing being kind of assigned to a node. Start mining. And I think I'm not very familiar with the dashboard, but I think you will see it there. I mean, you should see it there once it starts. Ceremony in the launch of the mainnet. If someone choose, should he participate by downloading a 500 gigabyte could be divided on more than one user, and in this case, 105. No, it cannot be divided. It's one procedure which happens on one machine, basically your phone or whatever machine. It's a generation of a sequential kind of contribution. It's called. It's like a key, a string, whatever, and you need to calculate. You cannot divide it. Like that's the whole point. Like only like this was already divided between many users by contribution, but contribution takes a lot of space, so you need to have a Wi-Fi to participate. I changed device and somehow got one word wrong, and now I have problems restoring my wallet. Is it lost? It depends. If you took the pre-net wallet, then you have social recovery there. You connect it with the social. Oh, you changed the device. Yeah, try to connect again the same social and see what happens. Social and password. Yeah, so try to connect the same social and the same password, and see if it gets you there. What amount of storage is needed on the phone to participate in the ceremony? I don't know exactly. The exact numbers will be available, but it's a lot. I don't know if it's 500 or 350, something like that, but yeah. The internet speed does not matter. As long as you downloaded the contribution, the fine, then you should be fine. Tell me, when can we dig into Dilast again? I have a lot of NFTs there. Yeah, Dilast is coming 2026. That's that's a statement. So, like a normal game, we're just pushing the date. Yeah, Half-Life. I did that. It wasn't intended. No. I hope not. But man, that was cruel, right? No, it will be fine. 26. But no sooner. Did the wallet and MainNet app will work on iOS on launch? Yes, very much hope so. Very much hope so. We're definitely building on that. If not on the full kind of capacity, then at least on the test flight, public test flight. Will you rewrite current contracts with TVM to WASM? And which contracts are easier to audit, TVM or WASM? Tricky one. I don't know if we're going to rewrite. Sooner or later, we are going to turn full WASM. But for that, we need still there are 3-4 months work before that happens, because we need there will be a separate accounts, WASM-based accounts with separate state, and a lot of things we want to kill with that development as well, like state sharding, things like that. So few months. But would we be rewriting all the system contracts to WASM? I can't answer this now. Tough one. Maybe yes, maybe not. Well control. How hard is it? The formal verification. From the formal verification, it's not. It's the same, but there are tools which prevented it. For a lot of these tools work for Solidity, but we're already working with them on Rust code, and obviously we probably will use WASM. In WASM, we probably will use Rust. Not you don't need to do that, but so yeah. There are some tooling that will need to be adjusted for this, and yeah. Whale control. What mechanisms are in place to prevent whales from dominating the binary token system? How whales can dominate the binary token system? How anyone can dominate the binary token system? Please explain to me. The binary token system, the whole point is that nobody can dominate it. Because you own the share of this contract proportional to the share of your tokens, and the one who owns more cannot take your share. Doesn't matter what he does or they. They can sell, they can exchange, they can do whatever they want, but they won't be able to take your share. Your share is there. Nothing can happen to it. So nobody can dominate it. What will happen to Acki Nacki in a bear market? In a bear market, we eat carrots, or we eat paw, like that. What do you do with a bear? We sleep? I don't know. I guess nothing. I don't think in these terms. Like, I don't think in market terms. I literally don't care. Like, I don't care. Because it's like if you ask Satoshi 15 years ago what he would do in a bear market, he would tell you exactly the same thing as I did in the bull market, which I didn't care there. I don't care now. Because maybe I'll expand, and this is not financial advice. Like, no financial advice. Third time, I need to say it third time. It's not financial advice, but the wealth, like in general, the wealth, how you become rich? By selling things on the bull market? No. That's not how you become rich. That's how you maybe buy a washing machine. Would buying a car make you rich? No. It actually will make you poorer. Yeah, the real wealth is when you buy assets and hold them. And when they dip in a price, and you believe the assets is in reality, the price is more, you buy again. That's not me who said that. That's Warren Buffett. And some other people before him, like Graham. So that's why I don't care. Is there a plan to launch an on-chain dashboard or API where we can monitor validator activity and performance in real time? Yep, the dashboard will have an open part where you would see, like, that's a plan. We don't have that page at the moment, but we will do that. Like, yeah, you should see this, right? So anyone can do that. Like, you can write this dashboard if you want. Like, you can do it if you want, but yeah, we will do it. What will happen to the core we earn in game? I'm puzzled. What should happen with it? Like, it's yours. So now you rented a part of validator and blockkeeper for a year. And so at the end of the renting period, you will get whatever you earned. How much boost will someone have to be in the first mining category? I don't know. It's like it moves. It's like every day is a different number. So I cannot tell you. But once we are on chain, and okay, that's maybe important thing to say. When we start the MainNet, there are a few things that won't be on chain. One of these things is like Popit creation and stuff like that, or something related. All the things that related to Popit will still sit in the database. We just didn't have time to move everything. Too many contracts to write. So it will take like a few weeks before everything moves on chain. This part will move on chain. I just want to say that, but it has nothing to do with. More or less with your questions, just remind me of that I need to say that. You assemble Mamaboard and then you mine by mining Popits. Mamaboard works as a multiplier to your mining. Oh yeah, that's the answer, I guess. How much boost will someone have to? Yeah. So which validator metrics will be made public? Uptime, stake time, commission, geography? I don't know. Whatever. Again, you can write it yourself, right? This dashboard, like you can gain this information from the network if you want. Like take BM, like any BM, connect to BM, take the data from the, like it's there's a GraphQL, like take the data and use it. You're using 256 hashes, or you went with a different hash output size for security reasons. First of all, like which hashes? Like we use tons of hashes. different hashes. Some of them are 256, some of them are 512. Yeah, it's pretty like some of them are shorter, but whenever the speed is important and not the security too much, like then like there are literally like hundreds of places where hashes are used in different hashes, like the Blake 3 now that we added, and like in mining, for example, we right now use SHA 256, and but it will be replaced by Blake 3. So yeah, and there are some other places where we use Blake 3 already. Will there be integration with the Q protocol, which connects arbitration cards? Yeah, for DAOs. Once the DAOs are on there, like once the Gauche system is on there, then maybe. But the thing is that, okay, there is a new thing coming, which I'm going to announce after the mainnet launch, which called B engine, like B as in BEE engine, like bees, and that will be the main kind of SDK for developing dApps on Acki Nacki and integrating that. The B engine integrates with the mining engine, because basically the mining engine will be part of the B engine, and the boost system and so on. And the DAO is basically like what you call the DAO. Like it will be part of the governance layer is already part of B engine. What I just did say. So I'm not going to make the full announcement. It's kind of merits a separate stream, but I wrote it's in a draft scientific paper about this like B engine thing, and what I can say is that we already use DAO right now. You're part of it. It's called Popit. Like Popits, Popcoins and Popits are a DAO. Anyway, it's a governance system, and this research is based on this, and that provides the completely new way to govern everything, like everything, including like DAOs or whatever you use DAOs to, like groups of social groups. It can be governing whole countries, continents, or subcultures, whatever you want, basically. Okay. So the Q protocol is like, may not be needed. We will have new offer like winter sales in near future, and it's a date announcement about price increase, of course. Today's finals, there change in like 14.4 million for last power of Mamaboard. Don't know any changes. Like you have this, from Friday, the boosts are not part of the course sales. Like the course will not come with the boost anymore, as in preparation for the mainnet launch. Like because all the boosts are going on chain, so you will only earn boosts on activities that you can verify on chain. Obviously, buying course are not one of them. Which user metrics, DAO, retention, conversion to mining does the team plan to disclose? The team doesn't plan to disclose anything because everything is on the blockchain. Like you go see the blockchain, see the activity there. That's your metrics. The development of the Gauche project has stopped. What is the reason? Are you disappointed in the team, in the idea of making verifiable software delivery chain? No, and I just said that. My statement about my first statement about that in 5 years most server containers will be orchestrated on Acki Nacki via Gauche system. When I say Gauche, it's not like Gauche as developer, but Gauche as a Gauche system, Git on chain. So yes, it stopped because we had to do the network. We will come back to this. if anyone who owns cores get their mined NACKL at the same time by the end of the year, don't you think it will create one kind of selling pressure because many might want to take profit? I don't care. Let me reiterate again. I don't care. Because if you sell something on a price which is like above what you think the fair or intrinsic, it's called, price of the asset is, it's totally expected. And if you sell below the intrinsic price of the token as you think it will be, you're stupid. In both instances, it's like up to you. I don't care, because in the end we know from Benjamin Graham that any price of the asset in the long run will always reflect its intrinsic value. Doesn't matter who bought, sold, or whatever did to this asset. Doesn't matter. Will you publish a public roadmap? Nope, we're not. I had a tweet about Roman. You know, Roman Storm, the guy who created Tornado, which got convicted in the trial in the United States. And I wrote a tweet about that. Go read it. I think one of the things that, why did he do that? Because like Tornado Cash is a kind of decentralized protocol, is a decentralized smart contract on Ethereum blockchain, right? For anonymize or hide the the transfers, input-output addresses. He got convicted and probably will end up in jail, or maybe, I don't know. I hope they will not, because like I think it's an honest mistake. But he did that. The only he was cleared for all the counts. He was cleared except for one, and this one is because he controlled the protocol. He knew what will happen. He had the keys. He had the knowledge, and could prevent, because he had the keys. He could prevent of these malicious parties using this protocol, and that what made him convicted. That. Not anything else, not the part that he created Tornado Cash, not the part that he wrote the software, no. The part where he had the key, he had the knowledge, and he controlled the protocol. Now, the roadmap, when we write a roadmap of the decentralized protocol, it means we control the destiny of the protocol, because we know what will happen in the future, but we don't. So how can I release a roadmap? A roadmap of what? Of Acki Nacki? There is no roadmap of Acki Nacki. It's decentralized. How many registered verifiers are on Acki Nacki? How many of them are active, and can you predict number of mobile verifiers on the net? No, I don't. I don't know, and I don't want to know. Like the registered is, I think, something close to 6 million, something like that. How many of them will go and verify? The less there are, the more you will gain. But the less there are, the less the intrinsic value of the NACKL token you mine. So think about that. More tokens, less intrinsic value. More people, less tokens, more intrinsic value. Whatever. I mean, we're announcing things. Like, we're saying we're going to launch the network. That's what will happen. Again, it's not like our imagination. We're just telling you what is in there in terms of like in the smart contracts. You can go verify the smart contracts are open source. You can go and check them. Like, it's there. That's the mining formula. You will mine NACKL. It's not up to me. I'm just telling you what is in the smart contracts. Once the network launch, that's what will happen. The rest is like we announcing this. We're telling everyone that it's going to happen. If people are not kind of doing this, you know. Which independent auditor is reviewing the code right now? We're not reviewing the code. And let me repeat that. There's no review of the code. Like, we're reviewing the code ourselves, but there is a formal verification process conducted by Provender. Provender is an independent company, is an independent body. They are the leaders, absolute leaders in the formal verification, which is the highest standard of code security in the world for the smart contracts in the world today. And they are verifying like as much as possible. Obviously, the sheer amount of code we have is just over the top. That's the most complicated blockchain. I'm telling you right now, Acki Nacki is the most complicated blockchain ever been launched. And it's the most complicated smart contract systems that not one system, systems like block keepers, mobile verifiers, block managers. Like all of these systems are the most complicated smart contract systems ever be written. Like, you can go and check yourself. That's incredibly complicated, and it's a lot of it. And so we are more than a year in the process of formal verification of all of it. And by the way, that's very hard because it's also changing. But no audits. It's partly because of that. Just to audit that, I don't know. It's a hell. How you see the ideal will mining start on this year? Probably someone who came late. Rewatch the stream from the beginning. Tell me the detailed steps on how to create your own deck for the game Popit, and also how it can be used, or rather what could be the motivation to this. I think I'm not going to answer this because it's just too detailed, and people know how to do Popit. Like, there are dozens of hundreds of thousands of them, that's been created, and every day. So like, not every day, but every here and then. Okay, not every day, like tens of thousands every day, no, but a lot. So, but if you're talking about how that will be connected to the game, right now it's not, so you will need to wait until the game, and we will have a separate discussion about that, and we'll talk about that then. Tell us how you see the ideal infrastructure for Web3. Is the current approach using centralized providers ideal or not? What could be the alternative? Central providers in Web3. You mean, can you please elaborate more a little bit? I don't see, to say Web3 infrastructure using centralized providers sounds a little bit, tiny amount wrong. What's the current stage of the formal verification of the multi-sig wallet? It's verified, done. And when it's they expect to finalized? Got a simple but kind of complex question. like every question today. How is the team planning to push the marketing side of the NACKL token? Is there an actual plan behind it? We don't push NACKL tokens. We push products. We push projects. We push games. We push corporations. That's what we do. We don't push NACKL. I don't know how to push NACKL, right? We push the mining. Does it push NACKL? Yeah, sure. Do we push mining? Yeah, sure. I mean, how did we get 5 million registered users? They just arrived? Now, obviously, there is a marketing side of things, and we're doing marketing for the products. The products we release, we market them. We try. Not everything is successful, but we try, and it's pretty successful. And I think should we do more? Yeah, sure, we can do, and we will do more. There are things that are going to be released also, like for example, Acki Nacki animated series, which we're working on, and you will see the something from that when the mainnet launch, on the day of mainnet launch. Hopefully you like it. And there is also part of the kind of Acki Nacki lore, Acki Nacki universe, which we want you to kind of take part of. It's not only about mining and NACKL and blockchain. It's also about games, about Acki Nacki universe, about the ideas, because it's also about ideas, right? I think sharing the ideas is very important to Acki Nacki, like extremely important to Acki Nacki. And I think this is the most incredible and the most valuable part, these ideas, because these are in the center of this network. Not like technology is a basis, it's like a platform, but the ideas behind this technology, behind the choices, behind the things we're going to do, this is what's really important. And this is part of it. So I don't think it in terms of marketing. I think in terms of ideas and sharing these ideas, and bringing more people to participate in them, stuff like that. How will liquidity for the can you predict the price of one NACKL at the launch? At the launch, the price of one NACKL will be 0 because nobody will have any NACKLs to trade, and there's no place to trade. So there won't be any price of NACKL. But soon it will. I cannot predict this. The only thing I can predict mathematically is that the NACKL price will go up. That's the only thing I can predict. What do you think about the network state by Srinivasan? Technology has enabled us to start new companies, new communities, but can we use it to start new cities or even new countries? I hope technology will enable us to kind of stop creating new cities and stop creating new countries and actually stop supporting all countries. That's what I really hope. Wrong person to ask this question, I think, Hilaire. If anyone wants to check formal, okay. How will liquidity for the token be provided in the first months after launch? How will NACKL interact with external liquidity DEX, SEX, listing cross-chain bridges? There will be cross-chain bridge that will transmit USDC. That's how the interaction will happen. And liquidity, when the token will be listed, that's where liquidity is important. Will be important. How it will work, I have no idea. I have no idea how it will be listed. Should I care? Why should we care? Because you want to sell NACKLs? I don't. I'm not planning to. Ever. I'm not going to sell my NACKL tokens. Ever. Why should I care? Just listening to you replies various questions, I must say it's been interesting. Kudos to your team. Thank you. Thank you, Lucky. When Acki Nacki is going to launch? Yeah, again. Just go to the beginning of the stream. Basically, my best prediction is mid next week. Will NACKL be listed on centralized exchanges? And since everyone will have to wait 1 year to get their mine token, which token is going to be in supply in mainnet launch? Yeah, it's a great question. If there are no tokens in the supply, how it's going to be listed? I don't know. Maybe some validators will sell some of their, or turn down their block keepers instead of mining these millions of tokens and just sell them, because they want to get to centralized exchange. I have no idea. Will it be listed? Yes, it will be listed as any other token is listed. Like any other token is listed. Literally, I don't think there is any token which is not listed. So the question, will it be listed? I guess, statistically speaking, it must have been listing. Yeah. Again, we're here for a long run. We're not here to make a buck tomorrow. I mean as a team, I can tell for everyone in this team, we're not going to sell these tokens even if that would be available in 3 months or 6 months or 1 year, whatever. Because it's not so like if someone wants to create a liquid market for this token, he would probably list it somewhere, and someone who would have liquidity would probably support that listing. I only can tell so much. Like, I don't know. Do we have like concrete plans as a Gosh to list the tokens? Right now, no. Do we talk to any exchanges for listing the token? Right now, no. And I'm telling that it can be used in court if one day someone would want to like sue us for, like, I don't know, or launching Acki Nacki, like happened before to different people. Like, this statement is going on record. We, Gosh, me personally, or anyone in the Gosh team, did not ever talk to any exchange about NACKL listing, period. Okay, why is so big supply of NACKL 10.4 billions? How do you measure big? Like, okay, 10 billion supply, which the price $10. Is it big supply, small supply? $100 per NACKL. Big supply, small supply. The supply is just division. It's just a number, which you divide like or multiply with. So 22 million, is it a lot or small? With comparing to what? To 200,000? Yeah, it's like 10 times more, 20 times more, whatever, 100 times more, 1,000 times more. Why it matter? Like, what does matter is the total like value of that. How much you divide it for is just a unit of account. Why we did 10.4 billion? Why we choose that number? Maybe that's the right question to ask. Well, the answer is because there are 10.4 billion people on this planet in 60 years. And we wanted everyone to have at least one NACKL. So no one will say, like in Bitcoin, they say, I cannot have a Bitcoin. Yeah, because it costs too much. So if it would be like 8 billion Bitcoins today, everyone could say, I can own one Bitcoin. It's psychological. It's nothing to do with price, math, or anything else. It's just we want everyone to be able to have one NACKL in 60 years. How exactly will Popit be connected to MainNet mining? Will playing directly generate NACKL, or will it just influence staking mining rewards? That's not sure about this question. Like, you mine by tapping Popits. You tap Popits, and depend on your Mamaboard boost multiplier, you mine that amount of NACKLs. The NACKLs appears in your wallet. So you need to connect the wallet with the app. Otherwise, mining won't start. It doesn't matter what you tap. If you tap without connected wallet, these taps are not counting. You're not mining anything. Once you connected the wallet, every tap you do, it's mining NACKLs. Maybe I want to say something now, which is important. There are people who played Popits a lot. Hundreds of thousands of them, more. And so there are people who now cheat. Yeah. We all know who you are, right? How they cheat? Well, they cheat in a way that they create many accounts, and they put these accounts on computer, and then they create a clickers that just click through. And yeah, it's not a lot because the clicking still requires mining power. It's like real mining, but it's because we wanted to to make it for mobile friendly. We couldn't make the mining too hard for a computer. So the computer can they do SIM cards, so you can have 40 accounts who click Popits, and you click 1,000 times because that's the maximum. It's not gonna work on MainNet. Hello. Good morning. Not gonna work on MainNet. the mining algorithm for the mainnet in the app is changing, and not in a way you like it. I'm talking about cheaters. Acki Nacki doesn't like cheaters. I need to take a block keeper now. Let's say, 1 second. Here he goes. Yeah. Hello, cheaters. How are you? Yep. Okay. A lot of questions. How exactly what will be connected to mainnet mining? Okay, I told you that. Okay. What do you think about Grug, a new execution environment for blockchains? I don't know anything about Grug. Please toss me the link. Would love to hear about that. Will Popit NFT? Popit is not NFT. End of story here. Like, Popit is not an NFT. Because it's fungible. NFTs are not fungible. It's literally non-fungible token. And Popit is fungible token, so it cannot be an NFT. On-chain rarity or just in-game? Man, again, everything we do will be on-chain. Like, everything. 100%. Would it be rare? I don't know. Up to you. Like, depends on what popcoin you mine and like mint and what you do. I mean, it's up to you if it's rare or not. Like, if you're an artist and you created several Popits and a collection, and then you stop the collection is finite in supply, you not mint anymore, then it's become rare. Are there planned external partnership collaborations to increase Popit user engagement? There definitely are. Like, we're talking to many partners, and collaborations are coming as a gouache, but it's not necessarily connected to Popits. It's connected to like technology that we're doing. What else Acki Nacki will provide to their owners? What makes Acki Nacki so special? Don't you know what makes Acki Nacki special? Acki Nacki is like, should I go? Like, Acki Nacki is the fastest blockchain possible. Acki Nacki is is the blockchain where you can run non-financial and financial applications like the way you're running them on normal like cloud computers. That means you can create now value in the places which you couldn't, and this is trillions of dollars in value. So trillions of dollars potential. That's what makes Acki Nacki special, I guess. One of things. Apart from that, Acki Nacki is just cool. She's just awesome, and she has a whole universe around her. I think she's great. I love her, and Hello. Yeah, I said it. I love Acki Nacki. Okay. Popit strategy. Will Popit stay free to play, or it's a hybrid F2P model being considered? The Popit is not only free to play, it's also mining. So yeah. Why do you burn all your Mamaboard power to unlock the coins and not the proportion of the amount of coins you want to unlock? That's a great question, and the answer is in tokenomics. Because when you stop mining Bitcoin, you cannot like just sell 20% of your miner. Like you need to stop it all. Yeah? You just sell it or whatever. Right. And yeah, I know it's not one-to-one. It's not like the same thing. But if you think all like thing considered, you will arrive at the same conclusion. Like, we want to put you in a dilemma. I go out completely and start all over again from zero, or I continue. Not in the middle. Like, we want you to always think in these terms. We believe this is the right framework mentally, like right mental framework about participation. Like, you are all in, or you just go away. That's the thing. Like, it's like you have a girlfriend or boyfriend, I don't know, and you kind of cannot stay in half in. Like, you cannot have a boyfriend and then have another boyfriend in half time. Like, you can, of course. You can. That's called cheating, literally. This is the word, cheating. We don't want you to cheat. Is it true that core price will be approximately $23? It will be exactly $23. Can you confirm the Oracle Cloud and Pair partnership with official press release, not only social posts? What is the status? Are there news retraction change? We didn't go with Oracle for the network start. Like, maybe you kind of guessed it already. Like, the partnership more or less died at the moment. It's not that we're not going to kind of like, we always have a door open, but to tell you the truth, the Oracle prices are just uncompetitive. Like, they weren't a good partner. There are better partners than Oracle. We're partnering with OVH for a long time and continue to do that because OVH is great. Their competitive prices, excellent servers, no problems, like bare metal, stuff like that. And Oracle, just expensive, just too expensive for no reason. So we thought that we could negotiate. We negotiated for 6 months. 6 months. Couldn't come up. Like, they just, well, but you know, their business is like taking these budgets from crazy budgets from Trump whatever initiatives and you know, whatever. We can't compete with that. We're small. Like, we'll see how it turns in the end. Could we consider that new product could be developed in the near future connected to the chain and use shells as transactional token for small transaction on the product? Yeah, like DEX. There will be tons of products that uses shells. Like, all the products that we will release will use shell, for sure. Could shell ever be used as collateral outside the ecosystem? I don't know. If someone will take it as collateral, yeah. Should they take it as collateral? Why not? Should they take NACKL as collateral? Absolutely. When the MainNet will launch? I guess people just come randomly and just ask this question. Okay, the answer is in the beginning of the stream. How important is being faster for the future of AI, and since other chains have enough speed for their users? I mean, lowering 3 seconds TX speed to 1 second or less is really important. Yes, it is everything. It is everything. Because you're not using 486 Intel computer today, and the only difference between 1995 Intel computer and today is, guess what? The speed. Nothing else. That's the whole technological revolution. It's all of it about the speed. All of it. When Steve Jobs created iPhone, the only reason why iPhone was successful, because it actually had enough speed to be used. Steve Jobs created Next operating system. Nobody bought it. Why? Because it was painfully slow. The hardware wasn't there. And he couldn't do this. He couldn't create Mac. And in few years, like when they already sold all their hardware business, then like, you know, Apple computers bought Next back, and the same operating system that Jobs worked in Next was put on the Mac, but the hardware was there, and finally, suddenly, boom, it worked. That's the only difference. There's no other difference. Like, yeah, there is this operating system, that operating system, but it runs on a computer. And the computer is everything. We're in technology business. Like, if it would not be for speed of GPUs, today we would not have AI. It wouldn't happen. Like, ChatGPT wouldn't happen without the modern GPUs that NVIDIA did. So we're doing the network processor. Like Acki Nacki, as any other blockchain which runs smart contracts, is basically a network processor. And the only thing that is different between one network processor and another is speed. And the only difference between the software that you can run on it, which makes a real difference, is the speed. And by the way, look at Hyperliquid. We had DEXs with order books on Ethereum 10 years. Nobody used them. They had to invent the whole this whole liquidity pools bullshit just for to be useful DEX. And Hyperliquid today, here you go, because they could. Okay, they put almost centralized computers there, but it doesn't matter. That, like, they kind of sold the community that it's decentralized blockchain. Okay, it's actually blockchain. It's like a, yeah. So what's the difference? Speed. Any reward plan for community builders? What? All we do for last year is a reward for community builders. Like, that's literally what we did all the time. So yeah, there are rewards for community builders. And there will be special additional, like the, what is called? The invitation part, a referral program, when you invite someone, yeah, it's going to move on chain, and there will be on chain related boosts prices for the referrals. So yeah, community builders will get even more rewards. Once you prove on chain activity of someone who you refer, you will get boosts on chain. And by the way, all that we can do, no one else can. No one else can come up with the referral on-chain. It's all because of what we now call B engine, the engine that is the mining engine behind, like Acki Nacki mobile verifiers. This technology enables us to do this. Any backup if MainNet launch date slips? What backup? If the day slips, it just slips and we will launch on another date. I mean, that's the backup. There is no backups. At this point there, what else do you want me to do? Like, to start a database instead of blockchain? What backup? Layer 1, 2 plans. Are any layer 1 or layer 2 collaborations planned for Q4? There will be a bridge to Ethereum or EVM based networks. That's the only plan. I don't know how to collaborate with layer 1. I actually even don't know how to collaborate with layer 2. I think layer 2 are bullshits, complete bullshits created by Vitalik because he couldn't scale his own blockchain. I think layer 2, all layer 2s will die because of chains like Acki Nacki or Solana. But Solana is not scalable enough. So now they talk about layer 2 and Solana, and they say, no, it's not layer 2. It's not layer 2, but it's layer 2 because Solana can't scale. Like, it's fast, but can't scale. So it's like, think of that as like a tiny chip that can run only one program at a time, but it's really fast. Is it better than the same chip which was slow? Yes. But is it what we need? No. Okay. Will shell be used as gas for NACKL transfer? Yeah. If yes, why it is so if NACKL is in layer 1? Oh, because you didn't read about shell NACKL binary token system. And please go read it. I have a Twitter thread. We need to, by the way, we need to do that. Yeah. I have a Twitter thread explaining like I think 10 or 11 tweets, I don't remember. Please go read them. They are small, short. Explain why shell and NACKL are two different tokens and how they interconnected and what amazing things it allows and why it's best design ever. Any crypto companies, parties who wanted to build on top of Acki Nacki blockchain already, like DeFi protocols, or just no, because we didn't go to them. Like we didn't advertise in developers community, and that's our decision. Like a year ago, I said we're not talking to developers, and we're not talking to developers, and not talking to developers, not targeting developers at this moment. Because first we're a community blockchain. We want to build community. Once we build community, and if the community is strong enough, the developers will come. Because the developers should come for community, not for grants. I just don't believe in grants. I hate grants. I think grants is a communist bullshit. There will be no grants in Acki Nacki, ever. Or not on my watch. Like you can create your own grant, but Gosh will not be participating in any grants programs for any developers, ever. Will it be possible to use a custom wallet implementation, meaning a contract? What stops you? Of course, just go do it. How will your blockchain be able to comply with European sanctions? Sanctions? Blockchain? Like the big part of blockchain is like, that's why they call blockchain, is decentralization. Not decentralized blockchains are just not blockchains. They are private databases. Look at all the stupid stable coins that everyone in the United States are doing. This is so bloody funny. This is 2017 all over again. They're doing private chains. Like all of them, Merrill Lynch, every fucking bank, everyone on this bonanza is doing private chain to launch their own private stable coin. Is it a blockchain? No, it is not a blockchain, and that's why it's going to lose. Like it's a normal financial database. Whatever. Enterprise adoption. What is the enterprise adoption strategy beyond the gaming sector? Yeah, the strategies to provide tool set for doing things on Acki Nacki through like instruments like B-Engine to build things, and enterprise will be able to use it. So, for example, again, I have here like I cannot talk about these, but we are kind of learning about things that can be done, like governance, for example. Like we participated in United Nations governance forum and for like as Gosh and like for the last 4 years, and this is like, for example, one of the things that we want, and we run a trial with them on a DAO, and then I completely I thought it doesn't work, And so one of the things that we created as like a B engine as a governance model, I think completely novel governance model, and we will promote it inside these institutions as well and see what's happening when listings are. When you are going to be ready to be rich. How about that answer? Come back when you're ready to be rich. Will you do anything to get your token into the US Reserve Fund? Do you think this is an important goal? I don't think it's a goal at all. Like, goal of who? Like, I think if we successful in Acki Nacki development, it will be stupid not to have it as a reserve currency of any country. Yeah. Will it happen tomorrow? Of course not. Like, it never happens in one day. Like, we're just starting. Will it happen someday? Yeah, of course, if we are correct, if the community is strong, then it will happen for sure. What is the financial runway of the project if adoption grows slower than expected? Yeah, we have enough money. Like, we're fine. But if adoption is going to be, I don't know what is slower than what, and it's not like we don't expect a lot of things. We just expect our community to be strong, and we believe that it's in the most important part of the blockchain, because blockchain is a social organism. It's not a technology. Like, technology just, it's just enabling things, but it's really social organism. So without you guys, it's not going to happen. Very simple. Doesn't matter what kind of technology we're doing. Like, it's not about enterprise adoption. No. It's not about, it's about your adoption. Think about yourself. That's it. How will early testers and pre-net participants are rewarded to recognize? Come on, man. Come on. As I said, we a whole year we're just recognizing early adopters and developers. Like, developers, I don't know what developers mean in these testers here, sorry. This whole year we're doing just that. We basically, I think the amount of things we provided to the community as a recognition for the testing and early adopters is incredible. Like, and I think that whoever stayed with us for this year will get rewarded for this very much. Like, I'm not talking about just cores, which we did for different ambassador programs and whatnot. Just the boosts that you could mine over this year, like the boost that you got, and you got hundreds of opportunities to get more over this year, will provide you a huge benefit in mining, right? So that's it. I mean, I don't know what else we could do. Consider the use of shell as a base token that increases the swaps to shells, which allows people to use the service, and also by consequence set the pool that increases the price of NACKLs. Yeah, listen, you really need to go and to see how shells are interacting with NACKL. That's literally all there. It literally provides support for the value of a NACKL. Do you have any means of protecting users from creators of fake tokens? Yes, we do. Whatever you mean by fake tokens. Will the mining of NACKL continue for those playing the game, or will it end after 1 year and we start? No, mining doesn't end. Mining continues. If you talk about cores, the cores is a rent of the server for 1 year, but the mining never stops. Will the mining system change over time, or do we have to mine the next 60 years playing this card game every day? I'm asking because some of us, we don't have 60 years to live anymore. Well, me either. Unless they create some kind of new wonderful pills. You don't need to mine for 60 years. And, nobody's like... you can... First of all, it's not only by playing card game. You're playing Popits as well. And then your question is, would other game be able to mine NACKLs? Yes. On-chain, yes. The B engine will make it possible for playing other games or other activity actually, and which also will mine. But what will not change is boosts. Boosts, the mining multiplier is the same. Like nobody will be able to give you more boosts. So the mining system won't change it over time, no. But the ways you be able to kind of mine will change, but you still need boosts. How will early testers and pre-net participants be rewarded? Come on, Anna, please don't repeat this question anymore. This is the third time. Like, I don't think anyone could reward and recognize our community more than we did. Africa is an emerging market in crypto, but I have never heard an influencer talk about your product brand. Do you engage influencers? We kind of do. If you have some influencer you want us to engage, please drop a line to Anna or anyone, moderators on this chat, and we'll be happily talk to them. Like, there is a program for influencers, which is available now around MainNet launch. So if you know any influencers who would like to participate, please. What the total reward amount in the ceremony for all participants is? Blick gain tokens, NACKLs, Blick gain. What is Blick gain? I don't know. NACKLs I know. The reward amount in the ceremony is not in NACKLs, is always in boosts. So you will be able to, you participate in the ceremony because it's on chain, so we have proof that you have participated, and we can, so the NACKLs will be provided to everyone who participates, absolutely. As usual. What are the main risks of blockchains or blockers the team sees for mainnet rollout? I just spoke about that in the beginning, so we don't see any risks or blockers at the moment. We don't. Every test we do is now fine, and there are a few small things logistically that we still need to do. So I'll tell it 7 times already today. We expect to start the blockchain sometimes next week. That's the expectation. It's not a promise, but that's what I think. How wait. The creator of Kuna Exchange is developing the concept of a network state. Perhaps this is not good for you, but if we organize a meeting to find one page, will you come? I don't know what you're talking about. I will come to any meeting which provides any interesting stuff. I don't know. I'll come. I won't come to meetings about some other projects which as a listener, because I don't have time, and I listen a lot actually about other projects, but not in the format where I need to come to a certain hour to be participating in that. I don't have questions to other projects, but if it's somehow related to Acki Nacki, I will come, sure. But is it a must? You must play the game on Acki Nacki before you can participate in phase 2. I can be able to play the game. I don't know what you're talking about. You don't need to play the game. You can play Popits. You can, but you need to do something. Okay? You cannot just sit on your chair and you can. All right, you can. How do you do that? Well, buy course and then sit on the chair and you don't do anything. The cores, like, because cores are fractional ownership of the block keeper license, so block keeper license works for you. Other than that, you need to do something. You need to participate somehow. If you don't participate, you don't provide value. Why do you need to gain? It's very simple. You do, you gain. You don't do, you don't gain. Simple. How can you prove to the SEC, for example, that your project is truly decentralized and that the Ghost company has no control over its operations? First of all, I hope not to prove anything to SEC ever. Second of all, because at the moment, I cannot prove that because the network is not started yet. When the network starts, there will be some transitional period which we will still control some things. Yes, so some, like I believe in 2-3 months after the network launch, we still will have some control over some things. But during these 3 months, no listing will happen, for sure. Like, I would be very surprised. So that's okay. Even if someone else has listed the token during this time, it'd still be okay, I think. Because most of the blockchains out there are still controlling keys. Still. And still controlling most of the validators. That out of all the blockchains, I don't know what is the real percentage of decentralized blockchains. Like maybe 1. And I am large now. But in kind of 2-3 months time, I will do everything in my power that we kind of be completely free of any possible implication in the future about us controlling anything. When the real mining start and when it will work on iOS, that's 2 questions. Are like it will, hopefully it will work on iOS when it starts. And when it starts, I answered that question now 7 times. How will the Popits from before the mainnet will be implemented in the mainnet? They will be just transferred. They will be transferred to the mainnet. How will be the process to get the Popit cards and the card game? Will the collection then close to the new Popits to create? Who choose the cards to the game? Okay, all that is connected to the game. We're not going to release the game for mining for next few weeks. So we'll still have these few weeks, and we will have a separate stream about the game when the game will be available for mining. I can't wait to see the project to be listed. Duru, that means you're not ready to be rich. It just literally means that. What is the total number of Mamaboards? And that's not financial advice. What is the total number of Mamaboards? Just observation. What is the total number of Mamaboards that exist today? What is the average power and the boost of the average? I don't know. The number of Mamaboards are maybe millions, something like that. What is the average boost? I cannot tell you. I don't remember. You show a list of the latest transactions, but nothing changes there. How can this be explained? The blockchain does not work, or just no one knows how to use it? There are some transactions, it's just because it's very fast. Here, it's in my screen, this one transaction. You see, 3 million, one transaction. It just goes very fast, and there is not a lot of people testing this, I guess. Core renters receive significantly lower NACKL rewards than license owners. How will this impact fairness and long-term motivation for participants? Core renters pay $11 per core. License owners pay thousands. How is unfair that $11 call will give you less than someone who spent thousands of dollars? Please tell me, what do you mean by fairness? Like, is it socialistic fairness, where you just divide the total by the number of participants? Is that fair? That's in your books and fair? Just take everything, take all the wealth, divide by everyone who lives in the country, let's say, and that is fair. No, it is not. It is not fair. By no means. It is not fair to go and live in someone else's apartment. It is not fair. No. That's my view of things. You can disagree. But blockchain, thanks God, is not communist. It's crypto-anarchist. And crypto-anarchism is not about giving everyone the same share just because you have, blood and it's red. No, that's not enough. Real curious about the mining system later. The mining system later is exactly the same as today. Nothing changes. Maybe I don't get the question. We will have the media ambassador program. Yeah, okay, so that's Anna says. We'll have a media ambassador program, and those who bring to the project, I guess people to the project or ambassadors. Oh yeah, the ones who bring the ambassadors to the project, we'll let you know in the TG group. Yeah, so yeah, this is ambassador program for the launch of the network. It's very short because we're few days before the network launch, so it's very condensed. But yeah, you can participate. Is it possible that in time there will be a P2P market of working cores? No, cores will never get peer-to-peer market. The licenses, yes. Cores, no. Because cores is just rental. You cannot sell rental. You cannot re-rent. Doesn't work. Last question from the comment section of the Yama posts in the community. There is a great opinion that building 5 blocks per day at the height of 1000 or 1005 will bring more NACKL to the mobile verifier than building 5 blocks at the height of 100 to 105. But there are no details about this in tokenomics. Can you clarify wherever there's a difference, what it depends on, and how much more benefit it is? Same formula. The blocks boosts, things like that. So it's merit-based system. And yeah, it's the same formula. It goes it clears 5 blocks, and then small amount of blocks almost gives nothing, and then it increases to the average amount of blocks will give the average reward, and then there is a peak of people in a small percentage of people who will get incredibly high rewards. They will get more rewards, but not same, because the same as normal mining. The top percentage with unproportional kind of levels will not get the unproportional amount of rewards. So it's a formula is kind of averaging that down. What does it take to make NACKL maximally, and does the hardware count? Consider you already have cores. Oh, the cores is a core is different. The cores mine just the exact number. In hardware doesn't count. Hardware doesn't count. It doesn't matter what telephone you use. It doesn't. And I spoke about the cheaters, which kind of increase the Popit counts when they use more hardware. There is a new system that comes, I would say not new, but modified system that comes, a mining system on mobile, and that will mitigate for this problem. So you won't be able to mine more with more hardware. I'm in love with this project. Me too. Aren't you mental tired of answering hundreds of questions? If we talk about how tired I am, I don't know. I really need to go there. It's beyond the point of self-recognition of tiredness. So I can go like that forever. Will there be no mining for mobile verifiers and network launch? Since Popit creation won't be integrated until a few weeks later. No. Popit creation will be from the day one. The Popit game will come later. So you mine with Popits from the beginning. What is crypto-anarchism? how do you understand it and how it is implemented in everyday life? Oh my God. Category. Okay, quick answer. Cryptanarchism. Cyberanarchy or cyberanarchism. Political ideology focusing on the protection of privacy, political freedom, and economical freedom. The adherents of which use cryptographic software for confidentially and securely while sending and receiving information over computer networks. Okay, that's my tiredness. Cryptanarchism is, first of all, anarchism. What is anarchism? Anarchism is each man talks for himself or herself. That's the anarchism. Every individual talks only, solely for himself or herself. Crypto is adding the means of cryptographical means to this, the execution of this power, including cryptographical money, cryptographical privacy, and so on and so forth. So blockchain is a great manifestation of that, but it's not the only manifestation of that. What is going to be the conversion ratio between what and what? Spending 700, I don't know, I don't understand the question. You need to specify. Conversion ratio of what? Spending 700 on course is not small investment compared to license. Why then are the NACKL rewards for core renters so much lower than the license owners? Because it includes also the running of this hardware itself, which costs money. It's the internet, it's the hardware, it's all of these costs. Like license owners are not only just buying license and that's it. They also need to run the node. It would be advisable to take like the DevOps time, the people who make these things run, and who 24 hours, 7 days, not sleeping. It would be advisable to take a break so as not to do brain damage, which we need it for the next 60 years. Thank you. No, we're literally, I think, finishing now. I'm just keep reading, because I cannot stop. Will the current allocation of rewards among different types of network participants remain unchanged for the entire lifetime of blockchain, or do you allow for the possibility of future allocation? Okay, we just I answered that question before. No, then nothing changes. Like bottom line, like people can change things, and validators can, block keepers can one day decide to change, but for that they will need to change the software. Other than that, no, it's not changing. It's decentralized. Who is going to change that? Okay, I think I answered that. I only managed to clear 11 blocks in the tournament. Can one still be rewarded for clearing 5 blocks a day, for instance, without necessarily clearing 10s? Yeah, you can. And there will be other games. Maybe you will more likely to play them. You can do Popit mining. Yeah, it will give you less rewards than if you kind of excel, but maybe there are other games that you will excel in and can be able to do that. So yeah, but sure, everyone will mine. And if you have a lot of boosts, then that mitigates if you can't clear a lot of blocks. But of course, having more boosts and clearing more blocks will give you more reward, but it doesn't mean that you won't be able to mine. All right, guys, I think I'm done. I need to drink a lot of water now, or tea in my case. Yes, I actually shared a lot of spoilers. Yeah, I did. I spoiled a lot. B engine. Yeah, some predictions for 5-10 years. The MainNet starts next week. I mean, I did a lot of that. All right. Thanks, Adik. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. And, see you around, guys. Thanks a lot for being with us today. And here we go.